Hey guys, and welcome to Learning Plan 2. I had some issues last night with PowerPoint, so anyway, I posted a video I want you guys to look at, and it's a really good outline of what the planning phases and stages are. So basically, for the seminar assessment, I just want you to write a summary on that, talking about the different ways to strategize and that kind of thing. So pretty simple. Keep it less than 500 words, and I'll go through more of that in just a few minutes. So the overview for this LP2 is the planning function is the basis for nearly all management activities. Again, guys, you can find all this stuff on your classroom. Nearly all management activities attempt to fulfill the goals of planning. The goals for organizations are developed during planning. There are three levels of plans: strategic, tactical, and operational. And that's a lot of what that video I posted last night talks about too. So many times planning involves changing an organization's direction. As an essential part of change, management needs to be prepared for resistance to change. And resistance to change is something I'm very passionate about. That's actually what my dissertation was on. So for this, you're going to read chapter 7, 8, and 11 in management. You're going to read the sections on outlining, writing a draft, and proofreading, and tone in the Business Writer's Handbook. Also, look at the participation policy in the discussion board. We've already kind of talked about this, so let me clear up what I look for in discussions. I don't know how other instructors do it, but this is what I do. I want one initial post. You need 4 replies for a perfect score. Okay, that initial post and those 4 replies cannot be on the same day. I look for 3 different dates. So your initial post can be on one day. 2 of your replies can be on the same day. The other 2 can be on the same day. That is my policy, and that's how I do things. So I can't speak for other instructors, but that's how I do it. So anyway, and no one loves outlining, and we'll get into more of this a little bit later, but there's a link you can click on that will help you with your outline. You can also Google what an outline looks like. But guys, for an outline assignment, do not submit a paper, because a paper is not an outline. So for this LP2, the activities and assignments are as follows. You're going to view the LP2 seminar, which you're doing now, and the one I posted last night, and complete the assessment. You're going to participate in discussion 2, overcoming resistance to change. You're going to complete the LP2-1 assignment, which is planning, and complete the LP2-2 assignment, which is the outline. So for this discussion, we want to tap into the experience of battle-tested soldiers. The U.S. Army recently began encouraging personnel from all ranks to go online and rewrite some of the Army's field manuals in a Wikipedia-like fashion. When the rank and the file showed little interest, one retired colonel suggested that the top leaders should make soldiers participate. So using the NAU library, research strategies for overcoming resistance to change. It should be a minimum of 250 words. Make sure on this discussion you have 2 scholarly or professional sources. So for the assignment 2-1, the planning assignment, is you're going to address one of 2 scenarios. Okay, so and guys, this is on your classroom, so you need to kind of look and decide which one. One of the scenarios is you're teaching a management class at a local community college. Anne is a sophomore who is also a successful business owner. She enrolled in your class to improve her management skills. She sends you an email asking about planning. Specifically, she asks about the role of planning and managing an organization. Include in your response to her a discussion on strategic, operation, and business unit plans and how they relate for planning of an organization. You need to provide at least one example of a generic change model. These will be taken from scholarly journals, with an example or scenario to show how it works. A discussion on organizational change and the role that planning plays in the process of change, and at least 3 strategies for overcoming resistance to change. Your second scenario is Jane is a middle manager in another department of your firm. She is having trouble getting her staff to adopt a new vacation request policy. She graduated from a top-notch business school and isn't used to not getting her way. You can tell that she is swallowing her pride by coming to you. Send her an email which includes a discussion and evaluation of at least 2 generic change models. Again, these are taken from scholarly journals that might be used to address the change she wants to implement. You want to also include a sample plan of how each model might be used, and at least 3 strategies for overcoming resistance to change within her department. And overall, you're going to use at least 3 scholarly sources in the scenario you select. And you can click on that link, the handout, and shows you how to narrow your search to scholarly journals using the online library. Write with your audience in mind and use your critical thinking skills. This assignment must be formatted in APA style, double space your submission. Each scenario should be 500 to 700 words. Remember, just pick one and make sure it's 500 to 700 words. Submit your paper to Smart Thinking for review. You can click on the link on our D2L classroom for instructions, and then you're going to submit it via Dropbox. And this assignment is worth 75 points and will be graded according to the assignment planning rubric. It always helps, guys, when you're doing anything to look at these grading rubrics. That's what I grade by. That is exactly what, if that rubric requires 6 different things, I am looking for those 6 different things. So that will really help you if you look at them. So for this LP2 assignment is the outline. So guys, in LP5, you will be analyzing a case study. Read the case study and the assignment instructions this week. Create an outline for that paper. This is a good opportunity to get feedback on the paper before you start writing it, because if there are problems with the outline, there will be probably issues within your paper. Your outline should cover the entire paper. So you also, in this outline, you want to include your thesis statement, sometimes called a problem statement. Have at least 3 levels. Utilize descriptive phrases or full sentences. In other words, your instructor, me, should be able to understand where you are going with your paper from just the outline. As I said before, click here for an example. So on your classroom that gives you an example outline, you're going to submit this paper via Dropbox 2-2. This assignment's worth 50 points, and again, it will be graded by the rubric. So smart thinking is like tutoring. You will use this program on the LP21 planning assignment. There's a link and instructions on how to use the tool. Do not wait to the last minute to submit, guys, because turnaround time is about 24 hours. So I included a few things about strategic planning. Why is it important? Often strategic planning is described as a blueprint of a business. It requires vision, mission, and thinking outside the box, looking ahead and mapping out the future course of business. I know most of you are probably familiar with a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT also serves as a building block for the strategic planning. So, establish an objective. So when we look at planning, planning requires a systematic approach. It starts with setting goals and objectives to be achieved. Objectives provide a rationale for understanding various activities as well as indicate direction of efforts. Moreover, they focus on the attention of managers on the end results to be achieved. As a matter of fact, objectives provide nucleus to planning processes. Therefore, objectives should be stated in a clear, precise language. Otherwise, the activities undertaken are bound to be ineffective. As far as possible, objectives should be stated in quantitative terms. For example, number of men working, wages given, unit produced, etc. Such goals should be specified in qualitative terms. Hence, objectives should be practical, acceptable, workable, and achievable. Plannings are assumptions about the likely shapes of events in the future. They serve as a basis of planning. Establishment of planning premises is concerned with determining where one tends to deviate from the actual plan and causes of such deviations. It is to find out what obstacles are there in the way of business during the course of operations. So establishment of planning premises is concerned to take such steps that avoid these obstacles to a great extent. Planning may be internal or external. Internal includes capital investment policies, management, labor relations, philosophy of management, etc. Whereas external includes socio-economic, political, and economical changes. Internal premises are controllable, whereas external are non-controllable. So, choice of alternative course of action. When forecasts are available and established, a number of alternative course of actions have to be considered. For this purpose, each and every alternative will be evaluated by weighing its pros and cons in the light of resources available and requirements of the organization. The merits, demerits, as well as the consequences of each alternative must be examined before a choice is being made. After objective and scientific evaluation, the best alternative is chosen. The planner should take help of various quantitative techniques to judge the stability of an alternative. So, formulations of derivative plans. Derivative plans are subplans or secondary plans which help in the achievement of the main plan. Secondary plans will flow from the basic plan. These are meant to support and expedite the achievement of the basic plans. These detailed plans include policies, procedures, rules, program, budget, schedules, etc. For example, if profit maximization is the main aim of the enterprise, derivative plans will include sales maximization, production maximization, and cost minimization. Derivative plans indicate time schedule and sequence of accompanying various tasks. Sorry guys, my phone was going off buzzing. Anyway, so securing cooperation. After the plans have been determined, it is necessary, rather advisable, to take subordinates or those who have to implement these plans into confidence. The purpose behind taking them into confidence are: subordinates may feel motivated since they are involved in decision-making processes. The organization may be able to get valuable suggestions and improvement in formulation as well as implementation of plans. Also, the employees will be more interested in the execution of these plans, and what that means is your employees just basically buy into what you're trying to do. So, follow-up and appraisal of plans. After choosing a particular course of action, it is put into action. After the selected plan is implemented, it is important to appraise its effectiveness. This is done on the basis of feedback or information received from departments or the persons concerned. This enables management to correct deviations or modify the plan. This step establishes a link between planning and controlling function. The follow-up must go side by side with the implementation of the plans so that in the light of observations being made, future plans can be more realistic. Now, all this stuff was retrieved from a management study guide, and that is a really good tool for you guys to use when you're, trying to do your paper on planning. So, why do people resist change? And I'm not going to read this word for word because we know this almost is a given. Flat out because they fear change. People just don't like change. I mean, in my organization, they do it this way. They want to do it that way because they've always done it that way. And we know that one of the most expensive phrases in a business is because we've always done it that way. So people resist change because of the fear of unknown and surprise. Mistrust. This is on the management side of things. If people trust their manager, they'll be less likely to resist change. If they highly respect it, they'll buy into it. They'll be vested in it. They'll be more accepting of the change. Other reasons is loss of job security and controls. These types of resistance often occur when companies announce they'll be restructuring or downsizing or even acquiring another company. Bad timing. As the old saying goes, timing's everything. So, that's another issue with resistance to change is the actual timing of it. And then an individual's predisposed toward a change. See, differences exist in people's overall tolerance for change. Some people enjoy change because it provides them with an opportunity to learn more things and grow professionally and personally. Others are just flat out against change because they prefer set routine. These are usually the people who become suspicious of change and are more likely to resist. And this was retrieved from Forbes.com, which is another great source for you guys to use. So I know you got some work to do with some change models, so I wanted to include Cotter's 8-step change model. Step 1 is to create urgency. Identify potential threats and develop scenarios showing what could happen in the future. You examine opportunities that should be or could be exploited, start honest discussions, and give dynamic and convincing reasons to get people talking and thinking. Request support from customers, outside stakeholders, and industry people to strengthen your argument. Step 2, form a powerful correlation, which is a team. And identify the true leaders in your organization as well as your key stakeholders. Ask for an emotional commitment from these key people. Work on team building within your change coalition. Check your team for weak areas and ensure that you have a good mix of people from different departments and different levels within your company. I always say the people I really need to hear from in this organization are the people who actually do the daily work, not the ones who point the fingers and supervise and just oversee. Step 3 is create a vision for change. Determine the values that are vital to the change. Develop a short summary, 1 or 2 sentences, that captures what you see as the future of your organization. Create a strategy to execute the vision. Ensure that your change coalition can describe the vision in 5 minutes or less. Practice your own vision speech often. Step 4, communication. Talk often about your change vision. Address people's concerns and anxieties openly and honestly. Apply your vision to all aspects of the operation, from training to performance reviews. Tie everything back to the vision and lead by example. Step 5, remove obstacles. Identify, hire change leaders whose main roles are to deliver the change. Look at your organizational structure, job description, and performance and compensation systems to ensure they're in line with your vision. Recognize and reward people for making change happen. Identify people who are resisting the change also and help them see what's needed. Take action quickly to remove barriers, human or otherwise. You know, I have a little saying that one bad apple can spoil a bunch. It really can in the business world. Step 6, create short-term wins. Look for surefire projects that you can implement without any help from strong critics of change. Don't choose early targets that are expensive. You want to be able to justify investment in each project. Thoroughly analyze the potential pros and cons of your targets. If you don't succeed with an early goal, it can hurt your entire change initiative. Reward people who meet goals and targets. Because, guys, I'm telling you, your team is everything. And to have them buy into your vision and your mission is imperative to its success. So you want to build on change. After every win, analyze what went right and what needs improving. Learn about continuous improvement. Keep ideas fresh, bringing in new change agents and leaders for your change coalition. Set goals to continue building on achievements. And I know in my leadership trainings and my staff meetings that we have a couple of times a week here, that's what we do. We sit down after everything we do great. We analyze what went right and what we can improve. Then we take a look at everything that needs major improvement, and that becomes our focus for that week. Step 8, you want to anchor the changes in corporate culture. Talk about progress every chance you get. Tell success stories about change, which I'm very good at because I happen to be a politician, and everything we do great, I let everybody know about it. So include the change ideals and values when hiring and training new staff. Publicly recognize key members of your original change coalition and make sure the rest of the staff, new and old, remembers their contributions. Create plans to replace key leaders of change as they move on. This will help ensure that their legacy is not lost or forgotten. And this was retrieved from mindtools.com. And these are really great examples. I can't tell you guys how important a team is and them buying into your vision, your mission, plus recognition. I mean, today we have things like social media. I recognize I do weekly updates every week on social media on our progress and what we've done for the week. And I also recognize team members that have really gone above and beyond their call of duty to make things happen. So keeping your team motivated, happy, keeps them productive. So in conclusion, make sure you are using smart thinking. That is very, very important, guys. Read all assigned chapters in the textbook for this week. Please, if you experience any difficulty using the library, please ask the librarian. They want to help you. That is their jobs. As an instructor, the library is not my thing. I rarely go into the library because I have so much material on my own. So, seminar assessment, again, just a brief summary of the video of planning, 500 words or less. And don't worry, guys, I try to keep these videos less than 15 minutes. These are some things that I use in my office when, you know, we're going through leadership or planning or what resistance to change or, you know, motivation, anything. So I'm just sharing this with you guys too that I actually use in real life. So make it 500 words or less. Outline. Make sure that you go and see what an outline is. Google it if you have to. Click on the link and look at one because they look a certain way. And don't forget the problem statement or the thesis with it. And guys, keep up the great work. Y'all have done a superb job this week in discussions. I will start on grading as soon as possible. And if you need me, the quickest way to get me is send me an email. You're welcome to call, but I'm pretty fast at responding to my emails. Thanks, guys, and have a great week.